Okay. Good morning. This is Laura Kelley with Keller Williams Realty, and I am with Stephen Decker, and he is from IPX 1031. And he is actually the Senior Vice President. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself, Stephen.
Yeah, so I'm with IPX 1031. Our formal name is Investment Property Exchange Services, but that's a huge mouthful, so we just condense it down to IPX 1031. I've been in the exchange industry for 17 years now. I've been with IPX for over 11. So all I do is work with investors. So I love real estate and helping investors build their portfolios, preserve their wealth, and get on to that next bigger, better performing asset. So that's me in a nutshell.
That's awesome. 17 years is a very long time, so you must know your stuff.
I'm a glutton for punishment. Yeah, I'm a geek. So yeah, absolutely. I can pretty much walk most of our clients through just about any type of exchange scenario. And if I can't, we've got a team of attorneys and CPAs on staff that can help out as well. So yeah, I've been doing it a while. So I look forward to continuing it for the rest of my career. So
awesome. So let's just start out from the basics.
Sure.
Let's just talk, what is a 1031 exchange? Let's start from the basics.
So a 1031 exchange, so 1031 is actually a section of the IRS tax code, and it allows investors, people that are selling investment real estate, to defer paying the capital gains taxes that they would normally pay if they just decided to sell their investment, cash out, and bite the bullet and pay the tax. So like if you owned a single family rental or a duplex or even an office building, if you sold it, the gain that you made on that property would normally be taxed. Anywhere from 30 to 40% of that gain would go back to the government. But what a 1031 exchange allows you to do is keep all of that. So basically the government says, here, Laura, I'll let you keep that 30 to 40% that you would normally pay me, as long as you go out and stimulate the real estate economy. So if you sell a property for $1 million and you go buy something for $1 million or more, you get to defer paying all of those taxes. So it's basically a way for the government to allow investors to continue to increase their net worth and get into bigger and better performing assets.
That is awesome. It's such a great thing that they can be able to do that, and that the 1031 is still here, because I think they were threatened at one time. Is that correct?
Yeah, there was actually a pretty big push in 2014 and 2017 to either completely eliminate exchanges or strictly limit their use. There was one proposal that would have limited the gain to only $1 million, which pretty much would have been okay for most of our residential investors, but most of our commercial investors are going to have more than $1 million of gain. I mean, if you bought a shopping center for $30 million and now it's worth $60 million, only deferring taxes on $1 million of gain doesn't do you a hell of a lot of good. So yeah, so we fought a lot with Congress and our senators. We spent a lot of time, with the House Ways and Means Committee, the Senate Finance Committee, and basically convinced the government that 1031 exchanges are a stimulus to taxes, in fact. Because if you think about things logically, if I sell, cash out, and pay my taxes, yes, the government's getting my federal capital gains tax right now. But if I do a 1031 exchange, I'm still paying taxes as well. I just don't pay the capital gains tax. Like if I sell a property and go buy another one, I'm paying transfer tax. I'm probably buying a property that's generating more income, which means I'm paying more income tax. My property taxes went up. And because I went and bought a piece of real estate, you as the real estate agent made a commission, which gets taxed. The 1031 guy made money, escrow, title, lender, appraiser, inspector, all of the hands that are in a real estate transaction, that money gets taxed. That's income to those individuals. So exchanges do stimulate the real estate economy. So yeah, thankfully, still on the books.
So how is business right now? Do you see it increasing for you?
Oddly enough, so I kind of chuckle about this because when California went under like stay-at-home orders kind of mid-March, everybody was kind of doom and gloom, and all of the managers at IPX, we kind of got on calls and we projected out how we thought things were going to be, and we all kind of had the assumption that Q2, the second quarter of the year, was going to be a huge shit sandwich, so to speak. And we were all going to have to take a bite, and things did dip. I mean, I'm not going to blow smoke. I mean, things did drop. The first couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks of March, first week or two in April, everybody was still kind of trying to figure out, okay, well, how serious is this pandemic? How many people are dying? How are we gonna buy? How are we gonna sell? But oddly enough, I mean, May has been fantastic so far. I mean, my May is already better than how I ended April, and April had 2 more business days than May has had. So
that being said, you're
yeah,
seeing more traction. You're seeing more people take
definitely.
advantage of the 1031 exchange, for that matter.
Yeah, definitely starting to see more traction. And the good thing about working with clients that are in 1031 exchanges, just to be frank with you, it's not with it when it comes to investors buying and selling real estate. They're buying and selling real estate from an analytics standpoint, so they're looking at the dollars and cents. They want to make sure the property cash flows. Yeah, they want to make sure it's going to appreciate. You don't necessarily have to go out to it. It's not my primary residence. I'm not going to live in it, so I don't care about the travertine. I don't care about the man cave. I don't care about the school district. I don't need to go out to it, see it, smell it, touch it, make sure I like it. I need to just make sure it's going to cash flow. So yeah, so the 1031 market is definitely picking back up here, particularly in the last month, which is a good sign.
So do you think that's a reflection of what's going on today as far as the economy is concerned? Do you think people are starting to realize that they're getting negative investments because of the Airbnbs or rental properties or things of that nature? Or?
Yeah, I think consumer confidence is coming back a little bit. I mean, especially as more states open up more. I mean, California is slowly working its way into phase 3 of opening up. States like Georgia, Florida, Colorado, et cetera, have already, pretty much opened up completely. So I think that stimulates confidence that people have in the economy. But there's also, due to Airbnb drops, due to some of the assembly bills that the state of California has floated out there, which are pretty repressive to landlords. A lot of our investors are actually looking to, frankly, sell their properties here in California and exchange, in many cases, out of state.
Better producing investments, maybe.
Exactly. So from an appreciation standpoint, just historically, you generally can't go wrong with California real estate.
Right.
But if you're looking
California, everybody loves the sunshine, right?
Exactly. That's right. That's right. And our property values skyrocket more than just about anywhere else in the country.
Absolutely.
But as far as cash flow is concerned, if you're more interested in a cash flow play, well, then going into a state with no state income tax, a Florida, a Texas, a Nevada, a Washington, a Tennessee, that might be a good opportunity for you. And in fact, we've seen a lot of our investors even moving out of state. They've lived here their entire life, and now they're moving to Reno or Tahoe, or they're moving to Memphis to get away from this super high state income tax that we have here.
Right. I know there's only a few of us left in San Diego, and I'm one of the originals. So
that's right.
Still here.
Yep. Still
How about yourself?
Born and raised in Los Angeles. Moved down here 11 years ago. So Southern California, born and bred. But went to college out in North Carolina. Decided I couldn't sweat to death during the summer each year, so I decided to make my way back out here.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You did leave, but you came back. So
I did leave, but I came back. Had to.
You do that as well.
That's right.
So what else are you seeing out there? I mean, I think some things that people are talking about are, what type of properties, let's go back a little bit. If they were to sell their investment property and buy something else, you talked about out of state, but what about in state? I mean, what kind of type of properties can they buy?
So you can buy and sell any type of investment real estate. Now, this is something that oftentimes trips up our clients, because the IRS says that you have to buy and sell properties that are like kind to one another. That's actually super broad from the IRS's perspective. So for example, I could sell a duplex and I don't have to go buy a duplex. I could sell a duplex and go buy an apartment building. I could buy anything commercial, retail, office, industrial. I could go buy vacant land if I want to. Single family rentals, duplex, triplex, fourplex, condos, townhomes. And then there's a whole slew of things that are kind of outside of the box that you can also buy and sell that are considered real estate, that the IRS considers real property. Things like cell towers, billboards, windmills, air rights, water rights, cemetery plots, boat docks and moorings. So there's lots of different options. But what we're seeing right now, I mean, trending wise, just to be blunt with you, when people think that the market is going to drop, and I know there's been some uncertainty over the last few months, people just start going into properties that they think are kind of recession proof. I mean, there's really no such thing as recession proof, but the properties that really do well during a down economy are multifamily, so apartment buildings, because people that lose their homes, they still need a place to live, they become renters. So apartment buildings do pretty well during a downturn. Self-storage, because people don't want to get rid of their stuff, so they stick it in storage when they're downsizing. And a lot of triple net retail. I mean, fast food, things like Jack in the Box, Starbucks, franchises and things like that. Now, you can't actually buy the business yourself, but you could buy the piece of land or the piece of real estate that Jack in the Box leases from you. So triple net retail properties tend to do pretty well in a down economy as well.
Right. That's really, really, really good to know. Now, does it have to be equal or lesser value?
Equal or greater value in order to defer all the tax. Yeah, the IRS wants you to keep going up and up and up and up and up.
Okay.
So if you sell for $1 million, they want you to go buy for 1.1, 1.2, 1.5, 2 million, whatever the case may be. So they want you to buy equal or greater than what you sold at.
Awesome. And I think so. There was a couple other questions that some people were asking. I just wanted to throw out there real quick.
Sure.
There's something about retirement. Is there a way to buy my future retirement home through 1031 exchange?
There actually is.
That's going on right now too, or?
Yeah, it is, because I mean we're coming into the next 15 years of our lives are going to be interesting, because we're going to see the greatest transfer in wealth in world history, because the baby boomer generation starts to pass away. All of that wealth is going to transfer. My parents' generation is going to pass, and they're going to leave that money to us. Yeah. My parents' generation, though, is at the point where they're sick of dealing with the 3 T's: the toilets, the trash, and the tenants.
Yeah.
So we're getting lots of clients, particularly baby boomers. They're saying, "Hey, Steve, I own 3 rental properties in Escondido. I've always wanted to retire at the beach in La Jolla. Is there a way that I can sell my 3 rentals in Escondido, combine the money, buy 1 house in La Jolla, and then move into it?" And the answer is actually yes. So you can 1031 those 3 properties in Escondido into that 1 single family home in La Jolla. Now you have to keep La Jolla as a rental for at least 2 years. But then once that 2-year period is up, if you decide that you want to retire to La Jolla, live on the beach, and live out the rest of your days, without dealing with tenants anymore, you are absolutely welcome to do so. So yeah, we're seeing a big shift in people.
Baby boomers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, buying their dream retirement home, so to speak. It's a huge reason why people exchange. There's a whole slew of reasons why people exchange. It's not just the tax benefits.
Right.
Sometimes people want to consolidate. They want to sell 3 and buy 1. Sometimes they want to do the opposite. They want to sell an office building and go out and buy 15 single family homes.
Yeah.
So lots of different reasons why people exchange.
But that's good that they have your contact so that they can contact you with any questions about anything going on, what they decide to do or what they're thinking about doing for that matter. And of course, I can help them with selling the property. So that's good.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that you're seeing out there that you want to mention while we're here today?
So the only other 2 things that we're seeing quite a bit of, we're getting a lot of questions about reverse 1031 exchanges. A reverse exchange is where you go out and buy first, sell second. It is totally allowable from the IRS's perspective, but it is a far more complex and therefore far more expensive endeavor. But we have an entire division that is solely devoted to reverse exchanges. So if you have a client out there that's considering buying before they sell, we can absolutely do that. That's not a problem at all. We're seeing a big increase in reverse exchange activity right now. And seller financing is another big one. We're getting lots of questions about how seller financing could affect a 1031 exchange, because right now it's a little bit tougher to get traditional financing than it was 3 or 4 months ago. So people are asking, well, can the seller of the property that I'm buying, can they help finance my purchase of their property? And in some cases it's not a problem. In some cases it can cause hurdles or hiccups with regard to the exchange process. So so again, if you have a client that's interested in learning more about that, just have them reach out and we'll walk and talk them through that.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and give your contact information again so they can contact you. So go ahead.
Sure. My cell phone number is the best way to reach me. That number is area code 619-246-8187. Again, 619-246-8187. And my email address is ridiculously long. It's stephen.decker at ipx1031.com, and Stephen is Stephen .Decker, like Black and Decker, DECKER, at ipx1031.com.
That's awesome.
And Laura,
I'm sorry?
And Laura, I want to say thank you so much for having me on here today.
No, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I know you're very busy, and there's lots going on right now. So it's nice to do a video like this so we can share with everybody, you know, what is actually happening. So it's good that we're here doing this today.
Happy to help out wherever I can.
Absolutely. And I'm Laura Kelley with Keller Williams Realty. To get a hold of me, you can call me at 619-985-3362 directly. My email address is laurasells@kw.com. That's LAURA sells SELLS@kw.com. And we're happy to help with any questions going on in the real estate market. Just give us a call, email, text, bird, pigeon, however you want to do it. Just give us a call. So, so thank you again, Stephen. I appreciate your time, and we will definitely help anybody that needs.
Anytime. Thanks for having me. Take care, guys.